Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience Pilot Presents Elite Talk. Elite Talk, ladies and gentlemen, number 8. We're going to be live here this afternoon, and we're going to give it to you here on the Wrestling Experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, Elite Talk number 8 begins right now for you this afternoon as we get ready for Elite Talk number 8, and we're getting ready for AEW's Collision tonight in Newark. We're also going to be talking about Rampage. It's all for you here this afternoon, here on Elite Talk.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, The Wrestling Experience, with your host, Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit, freshest WWE content, and also through AEW. You are now watching The Experience, The Wrestling Experience. Now with your host, Earl Cole.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Elite Talk number 8. My name is Earl Cole, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, to this afternoon, we're going to be discussing Rampage. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you our final thoughts on Dynamite this week, and we're going to be reviewing Collision here this afternoon for Newark, New Jersey, Destination Newark tonight. So it's all happening for you. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just add my co-host to the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Tyler. Tyler, add him to the screen.
What's up, people?
Yeah.
How y'all doing tonight? How you doing this afternoon, guys?
Tyler, welcome to Elite Talk number 8. And of course, we got a lot to talk about here this afternoon.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about our final thoughts first and foremost, Tyler. What did you make of Dynamite this week?
I know this is gonna be an understatement to you people and to my buddy here, but that episode was absolutely wild. It was wild. You can't tell me different, but it was great. It was great. I really didn't have a flaw with it. The opening match was a banger. And then you had the Britt Baker squash match, which served its purpose. I did not mind that at all. But the blood and guts match, holy shit, y'all! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! That match itself, man. Yo, I'm telling you, I am telling you guys right now that match had it all. You had thumbtacks, you had glass, you had a freaking nail bed that wrestlers were sticking to because the nails went in their backs. They were in their backs. And you could see it when Kenny Omega was trying to get up off of there. The skin was stretching. Them suckers were in there. Them suckers were in there. I mean, they won up the last 2 or 3 blood and guts matches. They won up themselves with that again, and it makes me excited for next year's blood and guts. What the hell are they gonna do next year?
That's a great question.
But yeah, that episode was absolutely wild, and it would have been a standard show if the blood and guts match didn't happen. But the reason why I put it at wild is because that blood and guts match had it all, man, had it all. You got people dripping in blood. You got nail beds. You got glass. You got thumbtacks. You got chairs. The only thing that was missing were the fireworks. They were using everything under the sun. Everything. It was absolutely wild, bro.
I don't even have any words. I don't have any words. I don't. You know something, ladies and gentlemen, I'm usually never speechless, but I don't have any words. I don't have any words to say other than it was the most entertaining main event that I have ever seen in a very long time as a wrestling fan.
And I
I'm
warn
not-
you guys. I warned you guys before the match. Did I not? On our stream on Wednesday night, did I not say I warn you guys? It's going to get bloody. It's going to get super violent. If you're not into that kind of thing, turn the show off. Did I or did I not say that? And guess what happened? What I said exactly happened. We got blood. We got ultra violence. Hell, you have Mox pouring blood. Pouring blood. Like a stuffed pig. He was just pouring. Like it was like a faucet turned on in his forehead.
Right.
Like he was pouring blood. And that's why I told you guys before the match even started, when that cage was lowering, I was telling you guys, I'm warning you right now. If you're queasy and you don't like blood, don't watch this match. Because we were going to get blood. This isn't your War Games match in WWE where it's tamer because it's PG. Not in anybody's fault there for WWE. But this was going to be like ultra violent. And that's what we got. That is exactly what we got. And we always get that. We got that since the first Blood and Guts. And that's why I did. That's why I warned the fans who came to our stream on Wednesday. If you're queasy, don't watch this match.
I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when Kenny Omega, let me explain something to you all. I was sitting there in my living room and I was watching the match, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. When Kenny Omega fell back first on the nail bed, and he was stuck to it, ladies and gentlemen. It was almost like you didn't put the oil in the frying pan and you put the meat in the frying pan, and now the meat is stuck to the frying pan. Now the meat is ruined. That was Kenny Omega, ladies and gentlemen.
Put it
That was
this way,
Kenny.
you know the thing that you beat the meat with, like the tenderizer.
Yes.
That was like if you tenderized the meat and the tenderizer got stuck in the meat.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. And that was Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I said, now he looks like a porcupine. And I said, now if he takes a drink, he's going to leak. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I digress. The match was fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. The match was evil. The match was it was just. I mean,
You said it best yourself the other day, or the day of the event. You said this match was absolutely diabolical.
Yeah, and I stick by that.
Because it was absolutely, utterly diabolical. Because it was like, if you're into that kind of thing, if you're the psychopath out there that's into that sort of thing, like if you're like a CCW fan, or if you're a GCW fan, or if you're just Mick Foley, and you're into that kind of thing, that's the match for you. That right there is the match for you. And there was not one time in our stream that we didn't cringe in that match. Because we
Right.
cringed. We were cringing. You were shielding your eyes. I'm like the entire time.
Right.
But you were all shielding our eyes when Kenny Omega went through that nail bed. And his skin was just stretching as he's trying to get up.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. If I was a wrestler and they told me that I had to take that spot, I would have said, hell no.
I quit.
No, I'm done. No. No, Tony Khan. No. No.
Nah, Tony Khan, I don't care if you pay me $5 billion and I'm be the richest guy in the world, or I don't care if you pay me all the money in the world and I'm the richest guy in the world. I am not taking that spot.
No,
I'm
sorry,
not taking it. No, screw that.
No.
If you want me to get hit with a steel chair, whatever. If you want me to go through thumbtacks, whatever.
Right. No, not
But
that.
going through a whole nail bed?
No. No. Find somebody else to do the spot, and I am gonna hit the exit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Like I said before, I'll say it again, ladies and gentlemen. That was evil. The cage was designed, ladies and gentlemen, if you will.
There it is. There is the dusty road. There it
Ladies
is.
and gentlemen, I have to take that out of the closet, if you will.
Yo, no, that's what's making our shows, man, is when you bust out dusty roads. So that's fine. Keep that out of the closet. Don't even put it back in the closet. Keep that shit out.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, that cage was designed, if you will.
The whole match, man. The whole match.
The whole
match is designed for pain.
That match was absolutely. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it was designed to be diabolical. It was designed to screw you up, and it was designed to change your way of thinking forever. And I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, it blew any cage match that I have ever seen before in my entire life, ladies and gentlemen. And that speaks volumes, ladies and gentlemen, because this cage match was, they brought everything. Even Oscar the Grouch's house they brought into the match, which was a garbage can.
Yeah, they brought garbage. They brought garbage cans, chairs, nail beds, glass.
I think they must have had a wrestling checklist, ladies and gentlemen, of medieval torture devices. They said, "Oh, do we have the nail bed? Yep, check. The glass? Yeah, check. We got that. We got a chair. Yeah, we got that. That's check. Let's see here. We need a table. Oh yes, we're gonna bring that out too." So, ladies and gentlemen, they took everything out of that barn.
I feel like that's the only thing they were missing was a table. They didn't do a table match.
No, they didn't do a table spot. I was looking for the table spot, but they didn't bring that out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all right. The match ended, ladies and gentlemen, when Will Yuta was choked with a chain, like a dog.
Oh yeah, they brought it out. They brought out a chain too,
right?
Which was used to end the match. Yeah, right. They brought out a chain. You had chains. You had chairs. You had garbage cans. You had a nail bed. You had glass. You had thumbtacks. Man.
This match was, you even had a spot where they were fighting on top of the cage, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they were teasing. They were teasing a Spanish fly off the cage, but that never happened.
No, because that would have been dangerous.
That would have been too dangerous. I'm like, why would you even attempt that?
Can you imagine if that cage broke, ladies and gentlemen, and they did that spot? Man, God.
No, imagine if they did that spot and lo and behold, one of them landed on their neck.
Exactly. We would have to call an audible, and and of course, ladies and gentlemen, the TV show would have went fade to black. That would have been it.
From how high they are, I wouldn't even think they would call. They would have to fade to black immediately, because from that
Right,
high, you break your neck, you probably won't even live.
right.
That's that's dangerous being up there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
honestly, I do wish that AEW utilizes that center part of the cage, because they have like a black door thing on the top of the cage,
right.
where it's designed, if you slam somebody on it, it'll break, and they'll go through it. I kind of want that spot to happen eventually. I kind of want
Right.
that spot to happen, but there'll be more blood and guts matches for sure. Um,
Yeah.
so
This match.
I expect that spot to happen soon,
Right.
but but don't ever tease a Spanish fly off a 20-foot cage.
Oh no, 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 no. I
Don't
tell you.
even do that.
I'll tell you something, folks. I'll tell you something. When I saw that spot up there, I said, no, please don't do that. Because if you're off a centimeter, if you're off an inch, or if you're off whatever, it could be catastrophic for somebody. And that would not. I would not want to see that. I
Nobody
would
will
not want to
see
see.
that, dude.
No,
Nobody will
no.
want to see.
I don't
Because
want to see that because emotionally, I don't think I can handle that.
no,
Um,
like we already. I think you already had one, because you've been a fan for so long. You've already went through something emotionally devastating back in 1999
yes,
with the Owen thing.
yes, ladies and gentlemen. That was not something I wanted to see happen to Owen. I, I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. We were watching Over the Limit pay per view, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what Tyler's talking about, it happened in the Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. The match was going fine. Everything was going fine. The pay per view was going fine. It was starting to be a good show. And Owen Hart was supposed to do this stunt, ladies and gentlemen, from the rafters of the down. Now the arena was huge. It was massive, and the ceiling was massive. Um, Owen Hart's harness broke, and he fell 20 something feet to his death, right on television, pay per view, in front of the world. And
Yeah,
Jay,
we already have seen something like that happen before
yeah,
with the Owen Hart situation, where he fell 20 feet, hit the turnbuckle, had head trauma, and died.
yeah, his
What makes you think that if you do this Spanish fly off the top of a 20-foot cage, almost nearly as high as where Owen Hart fell, the same height where Owen Hart fell, and busted his head open and died. What makes you think that's not going to happen again if you do a Spanish fly and lo and behold, you land on your head on the floor?
yeah.
Like
Um,
don't ever think about doing that ever again, AEW. Don't
no,
ever think about it.
yeah, that's not something you want to do. And I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. They rushed Owen Hart to the hospital, ladies and gentlemen, a local Kansas City hospital. And when JR came back on the air, ladies and gentlemen, and says that his aorta ruptured, Owen Hart died immediately, ladies and gentlemen. He was already dead in the ambulance. And that is something I, as a wrestling fan, was very shocked at. And I couldn't watch the rest of the show after that. I had to turn it off right then and there. I had to turn it off. And a lot of fans were angry at Vince for not pulling the plug on the show, for not canceling the show, for not doing the right thing to the Owen Hart family. And he just continued with the show. Like it was very in poor taste. It was
Now there's a
very
whole debate. Now there's a whole debate with that, and I don't want to get into that right now
no, I don't. No, I
because
don't.
there's been a whole debate since 1999 when Over the Edge happened. Should have they stopped the show? Shouldn't they have stopped the show? But but back to the thing, and I just read what Damien said. Yes, you go to extreme in matches like this, but
Right.
there's going to the extreme, and then there's going too far. And if
Yeah.
they would have done that spot, and I know they teased it, and it was just a tease, and they weren't really gonna do it. But if they were to do it, that's going too far because
Yeah.
you're 20 feet up in the air, and if you land on your head, you're pretty much going to have head trauma. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that's why a lot of wrestlers, when they want to fall off the cage, you want to fall flat on your back. You don't want to fall, directly on your head. You don't want to do that. Anywhere, you don't want to fall directly on your head, but when you're 20 feet up in the air, you really don't want to fall directly on your entire head. But back to the props to Mankind for that, but Undertaker made sure that when he threw him, he didn't like completely, throw him because you see it. Mankind basically jumped and flipped. Undertaker just guided him
Right.
in that. Like if he basically jumped properly and he dove and flipped onto his back going through that table back in the Hell in a Cell match in '98. But doing a Spanish fly off the cage, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if you're gonna over rotate, under rotate, not like you don't like none of that. And yes, the Mankind thing, you don't know if he was gonna over rotate, under rotate. But lo and behold, he knew what he was doing there. He knew what he was doing. But I don't know if I completely trust doing a Spanish fly off the top of the cage when
No, I don't want to play Russian roulette like that, ladies and gentlemen.
because when you're doing a Spanish fly, the guy doing the move, jumping off the cage, his back is towards the end of the cage.
Right.
He's not in front of the cage. Mankind, he actually could see where he was going.
Right.
That's the difference. He actually could see where Undertaker was
He could
throwing.
see the table. He could see the table
He
at
saw
the edge of
his
the.
destination. Said, "Okay, I've got to jump with this height, this distance, and I have to rotate a little bit this way so my back hits the the base of my back can hit that table."
Right.
That's the difference that I'm trying to make. When you're doing a Spanish fly, the guy doing the move, jumping off the cage, can't see where he's going
Right.
until he's fully flipped. And sometimes you can over rotate and under rotate. That's what worried me.
Yeah, that I agree with Tyler's assessment here. But like I
Yes, you
said,
are Damien. You are that is going too far. That is going too far. That and yes, ECW, but you got to think about ECW too, and CZW.
right.
Those guys are freaking crazy.
I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you this much. I'll say this. We're glad that we didn't see that spot. We're glad that
It
the
was on.
wrestlers
Yeah, lo and behold, that spot was only teased. Lo and
that
behold,
was only teased, and I'm glad we didn't get to it. I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm glad we didn't get to that destination. But as far as everything else is concerned, Dynamite was a good show. The only blip on the radar, the only blip that I didn't care for on the show was the dance off in the middle of the match. I didn't care for that. That to me
But
was
here's the
serving the
thing. But here's the thing, Damien. It is. You want to know why? You don't see anybody jumping 20 feet and damn near knocking their noggins off.
right.
That's where it's going too far. You can hit people with weapons. You can send them through nail beds. You can send them through glass panes and hit them with light tubes, because we all know what those entail. Sure, it's not going to kill anybody that you're going through a nail bed. Kenny Omega's okay.
Yeah,
Also, the glass used in light tubes and glass panes is sugar glass. It's not real glass. The only real glass they use is glass shards. And glass shards, that also doesn't kill anybody.
no. I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say this. We agree to disagree when it comes to certain things in wrestling. And I'll say this much. Ladies and gentlemen.
And I do agree, AK. I do agree that was a nasty fall. He did bust his tooth or something.
Hey,
Busted his
hey,
tooth.
AK, how are you?
He busted his tooth in that match, and his nose went up. His tooth went up into his nose.
Nose, right?
He was put on a gurney, and then he finished the match. I still don't know how the hell Mick Foley finished that match. I still don't know how he did it.
And
but
he
did
lost it. And like he said in the match, he lost his hearing in one ear when he landed.
Yeah, he lost hearing. Yeah, he lost hearing in his one ear. He lost a tooth because his tooth shot up into his nose.
Right.
And then he got put onto a gurney after the table spot. And then he gets up, finishes the match. Or actually, right after that, he's reclimbing the cage. He gets put through the damn cage.
Right.
I'm like, you're a freaking psycho, Mick.
Yeah. That was Mick Foley, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mick Foley.
That's one of those matches where it solidified him as a legend.
Yeah,
for sure. That match right there, that Hell in a Cell match in '98, man, that solidified Mick as a legend.
Yes.
Like top notch. But back on track. Thanks, AK, for the history lesson.
Thanks,
even though it's not
AK.
much of a history lesson because it's everybody knows about that match.
Right.
But AK, I'm glad you brought that up. But yeah, the show was really, really good on Wednesday. Really good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, ladies and gentlemen. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly had a good time watching it. I had a good time calling it. I had a good time talking about it. I had a good time with everything, ladies and gentlemen. So kudos to AEW and kudos to Tony Khan and his crew for putting on a good show and packing the house in Boston.
See, that's what shocked me. Then again, it didn't really shock me because they had done it before at the Scotiabank Arena in Canada, which is where the Toronto Raptors play, which is also a big arena. But for them to go to Celtic country and go in that big arena like that, the TD Garden, and sell that out, the second most popular wrestling company in the nation and in the world, and you're able to sell out big arenas like that. Freaking, again, and he said it best, freaking kudos. Congratulations, AEW.
And
you guys killed it on Wednesday. Killed it.
And here, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give you a ticket update on All In London. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Khan woke up this morning to very good news. He is 3 sections away, ladies and gentlemen, from completely selling out Wembley Stadium. 3 sections.
And that's also another reason why I'm going to say kudos to AEW. Congratulations to AEW. Because you only have 3 sections left to sell at Wembley, one of the biggest stadiums in the entire world. One of the biggest stadiums in the entire world. And you're about to sell that out.
I'm shocked. I am still in shock at how this. Everybody was talking about. Including Bitter Bischoff, who got on his
Yeah,
podcast.
I don't want to get into that. I don't care
Yeah,
what
I know
Bischoff
that.
has to say.
Yeah, I
But
mean, all the haters, all of you haters out
Do
there.
you know the last event that sold out in Wembley? That was a wrestling event. SummerSlam 1993.
Yes.
That was the last wrestling event that was sold out in Wembley. SummerSlam 1993. That's a WWE show. And AEW is about to sell out Wembley Stadium. They got 3 sections left. And I think they're going to do it. I think they are going to do it.
I think they're going to do it too. I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to cut you off, Tyler.
Oh, no, I was finished.
I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, but no, it wasn't. Want to know why? That was in Wales. That was not at Wembley. We're talking about Wembley itself specifically. Yeah, they were in the UK again. Yes, I get that. But Damien, they were not at Wembley. They were in Wales. And I'm talking about Wembley. The last time they were at Wembley, WWE. I'm talking about the specific stadium. I'm not talking about the country. I'm talking about the stadium. That was the last event. That was the last event held at Wembley. Clash at the Castle was not at Wembley, man.
No, that Clash of the Castle was not at Wembley. That was in Cardiff, Wales. And I'll tell you this much. I'm glad you all brought that up because I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. This All In. I'm going to listen to me carefully. This All In ticket sales outsold WWE's Clash of the Castle.
And that was also an equally good show, too. That was an equally good show.
And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you this much. And I'll say this again. All of you people out there who dump on AEW, cut it out. Because
why can't we all just enjoy wrestling? Because wrestling as a whole is thriving.
I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This company is not even 5 years old yet. And they're
not even 5 years old. They're selling out big arenas like the Scotiabank Arena or the TD Garden.
Right. They're turning heads, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the biggest head turner. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, being a staff member of AEW, a referee, a timekeeper, a stagehand, somebody to work for that company, and you walk out on that grand stage and you look out and you see over 93,000 people. I mean, it would give me the chills to know that Tony Khan has hit a grand slam with this.
Yeah, Damien, that whole karaoke shit between McIntyre and Fury was like, make it stop.
Yeah, that was
that made me go, make it stop right now. Make it stop.
That was ridiculous. But I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. AEW has done it.
Oh yeah, AEW is killing it right now.
They've done it. They've done it.
Yeah, they're going into bigger arenas like the TD Garden where the Celtics play. That's an NBA level arena. That's like, that's not your 10,000 seater. That's like a 40,000-50,000 seater. That's a big arena. That's like going to Wells Fargo in Philly.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. This All In, the matches haven't even been announced yet. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one for the ages. It's going to make Tony Khan huge revenue. It's
Oh yeah.
going to it's going to give the fans of the UK something that they have never seen before. And this is the first time AEW is stepping into the UK. So I'm telling you this right now, ladies and gentlemen. There is going to be history made all over the place. All over the place.
Yeah. And then not even 2 weeks later, they're gonna be in they're gonna be in
Right.
at the
And
United Center. Guess what
and
that is?
that's and
That's what
that
guess what the United Center is? That's a big arena.
yeah.
That's where the Bulls play.
Yep.
That's a big arena. You can't. That's you're telling. So I don't like the whole camp thing. I don't like the whole. Screw AEW. I like WWE more. I like screw WWE. I like AEW more. I don't like that. I just you got to see the bigger picture here.
Look at the overall picture.
Wrestling as a whole, completely completely thriving. It is
And the
completely thriving.
and the pendulum always is swinging, ladies and gentlemen. It's always swinging. It never stops swinging because when somebody fails at one thing, here comes somebody else and they be successful at it and they nail it. And Tony Khan, ladies and gentlemen, has nailed it. Now, let me tell you all something. I have been to 17 AEW events so far. I'm going to number 17 tonight in Newark. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you this much. This company has me hooked. This company has me hooked. First of all, their tickets are very affordable. That's A. B, B, they trying
That's what
to
everyone said about the dude. Double or nothing. Yeah, it wasn't a good show. I admit that. We admit that. But dude, if you're just using that to bash AEW, stop. Stop.
I mean, Double or Nothing was okay. It wasn't something that I'm going to say was a classic or anything like that. Well, I'm not going to say none of that. The show was decent for what it was. It was decent.
There were some stinkers in there, which kind of killed
Yeah,
the
there
show a
was.
little bit.
Yeah. Well,
I will admit that.
there was a
To
little
me,
flubber dubs here and there.
to me, it was kind of a dud compared to other pay-per-views that AEW had.
Right.
I have to say it was crap. But if you're using that as firepower to just hold on, shush. No need to be meowing like that. Sorry, this cat's meowing all crazy right now. But yeah, if you're sitting there, yeah, I have a cat in the house, my brother's cat, and he keeps meowing, and I'm like, dude, shush. But but I mean, if you're using that as firepower to completely bash AEW, stop.
I mean, come on, guys. I mean, come on. That's not enough evidence for me. I'm
And
sorry.
it's not that it's not enough evidence. I don't care if you have the evidence. I don't care. Wrestling as a whole should be celebrated.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have this tribalism nonsense going around, and you're like, oh, this company's better. That company's better. This is better. That's better. None of that,
no.
because the tribalism nonsense needs to stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna say this point. Tony Khan and AEW is not going anywhere. And you could talk about them to the cows come home. Yes, they're not a perfect organization. I'm not saying that they are. Not saying that they are.
Now, Sarah brings up a good point, and this is part of why I ranted the other day. AEW tickets are even affordable. That's why they're able to sell out these big arenas. WWE, they might have a few seats that are empty because of it. Like, I don't even know how in the world they keep selling out WrestleMania year in, year out.
Because people
When,
don't mind. People don't mind Tyler paying the money. They don't mind.
like, I looked at tickets. We all looked at tickets and for WrestleMania 40 in Philly. $1,200 for floor seats. You pay maybe what, $100 for a floor seat for AEW? See, that's where I think AEW is better on that front. Yes, I do play tribalism when it comes to ticket sales and how they sell their tickets in that market. That's where I play tribalism because and that's where tribalism does, need to happen. Is just the ticket. It's the ticket prices. WWE needs to lower them. They need to lower them. And I get they're a bigger company. They have a massive TV deal. They got a massive deal with Peacock. They got, the pay-per-view revenue and all this other stuff and things like that. And AEW, they have to make you fork over $50 for a pay-per-view and shit. And that's where I think WWE is better. Is the pay-per-view market. They only have you pay $10 a month. AEW has you paying $50. That's not cool. And that's a reverse for the going to shows. AEW is better than WWE because they have cheaper prices. WWE, you have to pay upwards to maybe $60 to like $1,000. That's not cool. That's definitely not cool. But in terms of the shows themselves, y'all, every wrestling fan has to be united here. We all love wrestling.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. Again, like I said before, I said this last night on SmackDown stream. Fans make wrestling. We make
Damien,
wrestling.
Damien, stop. They are not doing rip-offs of other shows. Enough with the tribalism. Enough. Now you're really gotten me yelling.
Okay.
Enough with the tribalism nonsense.
Yeah,
because it's getting annoying. It's getting annoying very fast with this tribalism. They've done this since AEW first existed. And yes, early on it was AEW fans that were doing the nonsense. And then it became WB fans that were doing the nonsense. And then it just kept going.
Okay.
So all I've got to say after that is just stop. Just stop with the nonsense.
Yeah, let's just move on, ladies and gentlemen. We agree to disagree, ladies and gentlemen. Let's.
Damien, can we just silence Damien for a bit? Like time him out because he's really starting to get to me.
Let me put okay. Damien, you're on timeout right now, ladies and gentlemen. And
enough with the tribalism nonsense, and this is exactly why Ghoulie don't even want, or my buddy Ghoulie don't want to mess with this guy when he's on his stream, because he always brings in, when we're talking about AEW, this tribalism bullshit.
Well, I'm not. Listen. Like I said before, I'll say it again. We agree to disagree. I love any kind of wrestling as long as it's a good product, as long as it's good wrestling, as long as it's got compelling TV, as long as it's got good storylines. You got me hooked.
That's how it's supposed to go.
Right. And that's the way I have a mindset, ladies and gentlemen. That is why I've been in wrestling for many decades, as everybody knows. And that's the way I think, ladies and gentlemen. My heart is open to anything. I'm willing to watch it. I'm willing to surmise about it, and I'm willing to talk about it. And that's the way I do things, ladies and gentlemen. And
That's the way I do things too, brother. That's the way.
that's the
Yeah, that's the way I do things. And if you don't, and yes, you have a right to an opinion, but when you're bashing companies, when you're bashing, when all you're doing is bashing, it's not an opinion. That's just you hating.
yeah, and again, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, there are, like I said, both organizations are not perfect. They're not
That's what
perfect.
Sarah just said. That's what, and
Yeah,
Sarah said it best.
yeah, they're not perfect, ladies and gentlemen. They're just not.
Yeah,
And
there's some mistakes AW makes that I critique, and
yeah,
there's mistakes that the remakes that I critique.
yeah, and on my show, ladies and gentlemen, on my show, The Wrestling Experience, I bring out the good, the bad, and the ugly in both organizations. I revel in their success when they do something good, and then of course I bring out the worst in them when they do something bad, and I take them to the woodshed. Because there are times where they do things. There are times there are a decision made that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make booking sense. It doesn't make story wise sense. But
There's a lot of head scratchers in wrestling, and it happens to
yeah,
every company.
yeah, it had right,
AW's had some head scratchers.
right. I mean, there are things that I take a second look at.
Like look at the
Uh,
whole thing. Like look at the whole thing with the beginning of the Outcast and Britt Baker feud. That made no sense in the beginning
no,
because they were they. It was weird because it was like Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter were like faces one week, and then the next week they were heel.
right.
They weren't really fully committing on the face turn, and then
And
when they
I
fully committed, it started to make sense.
right. And the
That
thing
was that
is
was that was that whole thing. But
right,
that's what AW has flaws. WWE has flaws. Ring of
right,
Honor has flaws.
right,
MLW has flaws. Every company has flaws. But the
right.
thing is, I hate it. I hate the tribalism nonsense. Oh, I only like this company, that company. That like I look. If you only that's like saying you only like one TV show.
Right.
Everybody has multiple favorites. Everybody has multiple favorite movies.
Right. But
Yeah.
that's the way the world works, ladies and gentlemen. That it's variety is the spice of life, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah,
And
you have
we
variety now.
all
You
yeah,
have variety. Yeah, you have variety now. You have, but here's the thing: you have multiple wrestling companies on TV. You have WWE, AEW, Impact, MLW because they do stream it on TV too, on BN Sports. You have what else? And that's about it. You only have those four companies on TV, but you also have indie wrestling.
right.
You have CZW, you have GCW, you have Defy, you have uh, you have your local indie markets.
Right.
You have so much wrestling at your disposal now, and people with this tribalism mentality, it just angers me and it makes my blood boil.
Yeah,
And
well,
and I just and we all have to just enjoy wrestling.
yeah.
Appreciate the fact that we have more wrestling than ever.
And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. For me, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, wrestling is an escape. It's an escape for me because if you turn on the TV, ladies and gentlemen, our world is burning. Our world is burning. You turn on the TV, there is something new going on in this world. And if you don't want to deal with it, turn to wrestling. That's what I do. Turn to
Yeah,
wrestling.
that's what if I'm up if I'm in a bad mood, I just turn on Peacock and put on a random pay-per-view.
Right.
And then I'm happy because I'm watching wrestling. The thing that I loved since I was a kid.
Yeah.
The thing that I loved since I was 4 years old. I'm watching it. I'm
Yeah.
having fun watching it.
Yeah,
And
because
because and yes, and yes, you can speak for everyone when you say that, because nearly every wrestling fan says this. When they watch wrestling, it is an escape.
It is. It is,
Because
ladies and gentlemen.
everybody has dark stuff happening in their minds sometimes.
Right.
People with mental health issues.
Right.
They usually that's the same thing when people are like, oh, when I have a bad day, I just listen to music, or when I have a bad day, I just put on my favorite movie, or I put on my favorite TV show. It's the same thing with wrestling. You sit there, you're upset about something, you're having a blah day, you just turn on wrestling, and you're immersed into a different world. It is a different world. It's a different and with me with watching the classic WWE shows on Peacock, it's like stepping into a time machine, being 5, 6 years old again.
Yeah, and you know something, ladies and gentlemen, I love nostalgia. And I like watching those old classic wrestlings where, like the you get the Maple Leaf Gardens, and you get the old Boston Gardens, and you sit back, you watch some classic um wrestling, and you just get immersed in it, like Tyler said, you get immersed in it. You think about like all the times that you um been in arenas and you witnessed this, or you saw this, or you were there like the first time it debuted, or something that they wanted to display in front of the fans, and you were there. So it's things like that. It's moments like that, ladies and gentlemen. It's moments like that is why we all should be proud to be wrestling fans, because moments like those, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, they don't come around again. They only come around once. And, it's just like WrestleMania 40. I know a lot of you are going to go out there on August the 18th, and you're going to buy the most expensive tickets. You're going to go because you want to see history. You want to see WrestleMania turn 40, because WrestleMania is only going to turn 40 once. It's only going to turn 40 once. And 40 years of WrestleMania is historic, to say none the least. Who would have ever thought that a brainchild idea from Vince McMahon in Madison Square Garden would morph into 2 nights? That would have been unheard of. If you would have came to me back in the 80s or the 70s, or even the 90s, and said to me, hey, Earl, WrestleMania is going to be 2 nights, I would have laughed in your face. I would have laughed in your face, because I would have been like, that is not true. Where do you come up with that? But it has evolved into that. It has evolved into 2 nights. So I understand. I understand. But like Tyler said, and I agree with him 100%, we got to stop with the tribalism. We got to stop. As a wrestling fans, we all should just come together and celebrate wrestling, because you never know what's going to happen with us in the future. You never know what's going to happen to all of us. Our tomorrows are not guaranteed. So,
And plus, if I didn't have wrestling, I wouldn't have the friends that I have now doing the streaming. I would not have the friends. I definitely would have Rob, because me and him have been friends since middle school. But the rest of the crew that I hang out with, on the streams, I wouldn't have you guys. I wouldn't have the fans. You wrestling fans, and in the chat today, I wouldn't have you guys if I didn't have that love of wrestling. And 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 the thing is, just love wrestling. Just
yeah,
love it,
just love
because
wrestling. Just love
because
wrestling.
it takes me and the thing is, the reason why I got back into wrestling, and I told this story before, was because, well, let me tell you the longer version of the story, right? Let me tell you the longer version. overall, I've been a fan of wrestling since 2002. You know who got me into that wrestling? My grandfather. From 2002 to 2012, well, from 2002 to 2010, me and him watched together. He would call me, "Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? Yeah, I did. Yeah, cool. Yeah." He'd call me up. "Did you see Monday Night Raw last night? Did you see SmackDown last night?" And we would just talk about it. And then 2012, I fell out of wrestling because we all go through that stage in our life where we think, "Oh, we're too old. Oh, I don't think I'll be able to get back on the. I don't think that I'd be able to keep watching wrestling because you think by 12, 13, 14, you grow out of it. Oh, it's not cool anymore." But then I went down to visit my grandfather, 2016, because I had found out because he wanted to see me. So I went down there and we watched wrestling together. And the thing is, this part of the story makes me really sad, but it kind of it's a beautiful thing though. At the same time, he had cancer at this time. He had cancer, and he had died maybe, I guess, a week or two later after I went down there, and we watched wrestling together before that when I was down there, down where he lived in the South. After he died, I said, "You know what? I'm gonna watch wrestling in his honor."
Right.
So I turned on Raw, and it was the Raw after. It was the Raw where Jericho turned on AJ Styles.
Okay.
And I was watching it, and I was having fun watching it. I watched it religiously for a while. I started to love it again. I started to find that love of wrestling again. And then I'm starting to really get into it again. I'm really starting to like it. And then 2016, when the brand split happened, I was fully engulfed by then. Fully engulfed by the brand split of that year.
Right.
And then I just kept watching it and watching it and watching it. And then I started doing the wrestling podcasting. And then I started to do, and the rest is history, because then we're here at this moment right now. And wrestling, in the beginning, it was a coping mechanism. It was a cope. But that cope turned into a love that I didn't know that I still had. That's why I love wrestling so much the way that I do now. That's why I still watch it the way that I do now.
Well, you know something, ladies and gentlemen, I am the total. That was a great story, by the way, Tyler, and I'm sorry about your loss, by the way.
No, it's all right. That's all right, because wrestling got me through that. You know, that time in my life where I had just lost my grandfather.
Right.
And then who got me into wrestling to begin with. And then I found that love. So it's more of a positive story.
Right.
Than anything.
Well, you know something, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the opposite of every wrestling fan, because I'll tell you this much later. I'll tell you the short story of my journey as a wrestling fan. My mom took me when I was a kid. My mom took me, and to sit in Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen, and to see Pedro Morales or see Don Morocco perform in front of the ring, or even Iron Sheik. I was enthralled at what I was watching. I was enthralled, and I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since I was a kid to now, I don't get enthralled that easily. I don't. Nothing really catches my attention span more than if it's something that's really good and really compelling. And I, when I got to my first match when I was a kid, ladies and gentlemen, I never stopped after that. I was hooked on it. I was hooked on it. It got me to the point where I was like, you know what? I said, even if I don't come consecutively, even if I come like maybe take one match, take one event off, and you go back to the next event and you go, that was the mentality that I had. And ever since then, ladies and gentlemen, every arena that I go into, I think about my mom. I think about when she had turned me on to wrestling. And like I said before, I'll say it again, for 3 decades, ladies and gentlemen, I have loved this wrestling because I have witnessed some historic things,
See, there's a
ladies and gentlemen.
parallel with this. There's a parallel as to why we love wrestling. Because a family member that we love dearly got us into it.
Yeah,
That's a theme here.
yeah, and I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you this much. Um, I have, like I said before, I have witnessed some amazing things in the wrestling world as a fan. To have my ticket scanned and go through that gate and witness history. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me just give you a list. Let me just give you a list here of some of the things that I have witnessed as a wrestling fan. I've got to witness TLC debut in Brooklyn. I got to see Eddie Guerrero wrestle his last WrestleMania match. I got to witness, ladies and gentlemen, I got to witness the first AEW show ever in the Northeast in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I got to witness, ladies and gentlemen, the fastest title change in WWE history when Diesel won against Bob Backlund. I
Oh,
got
you
to
mean?
wit-
Oh, you mean the one with the one power bomb and boom done?
yes,
Yeah.
in Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. I got to witness AJ Styles, ladies and gentlemen, win the United States Championship at a house show in Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. So these moments, ladies and gentlemen, these moments is why I call my show the wrestling experience. Is because I've experienced these things, ladies and gentlemen, and I have witnessed it. And that is why I love this business, if you will.
There it
Good.
is, another Dusty Rhodes.
Just for Tyler, because Tyler's a good friend of mine. He is my go-to. He just everything. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you all something. Let me tell you something. This man is as good as cornbread, ladies and gentlemen, if you will.
I'm
So
that good. I'm that good of a friend, and I'm good as cornbread.
yeah, that's right.
Damn, I'm a quality friend then. All right, good as cornbread. Nice, but you know what I
But
gotta say
anyway,
about? You know what I gotta say about that? You know what's coming.
what's that?
Oh yeah, gotta bust out that damn macho on you, bro. That macho man, Randy Savage on you. And guess what you are? Guess what you are? You're the cream of the crop. Yeah, my poor macho man impersonation there. But
That's all right. That's all right, Tyler. That's all right. I greatly appreciate it, and I thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just move.
and Sarah, that's a really good that's awesome that we were the ones that were able to bring you back into it.
Yeah, we're grateful for that,
Kudos.
Sarah.
Yeah, we're grateful. And kudos to your older brother too for initially getting into you.
Yeah.
Oh yay! I get an A for effort. Nice, but
Nice.
but
Thank
yeah,
you, Sarah, for that comment.
yeah, we're very grateful for that. To be honest,
Hey, Sarah, I want to ask you something, Sarah. Would you like to be the first fan of this show and of many of our shows to be on the Wrestling Experience? Why don't
Al,
you
you
come
can,
on?
yeah, come on, come to
Why
his
don't
show.
you?
Come to
Why
his show.
don't you? Why don't you, Sarah? Shout me out on Twitter and let's work out a date, Sarah. And you make your debut on the Wrestling Experience because I'll guarantee you a good time, Sarah. I
Oh yeah,
guarantee you a good time.
and
And
let me tell,
I'll even add Tyler to the mix, ladies and gentlemen.
let me tell you something. Since we're adding me to the mix, let me continue to sell this to you, Sarah. We're gonna sell this like car salesmen right now. All right. Let me tap on the hood of the show here. This bad boy. This bad boy. But yeah, we'll definitely have a good time with doing the show with you. If you want to hop on and we haven't personally met on stream. We never like really saw each other in person like that. So we would like to meet you and talk wrestling with you on this show. And also, if you want to come on to the It's For Me podcast,
Yes,
we could use guests. I feel like
yes.
that's what the show. I feel like inserting guests would actually help the show. If Rob is down for that, if he's in the stream right now, if you're down for that, Rob, awesome. But I would definitely wouldn't be opposed to you showing up on Interroll to me on a Thursday. Just DM one of us on Twitter, and we'll work that out. And yeah,
Yes, sir. Again, like I said before, I'll say it again, sir. If you want to come on the Wrestling Experience,
and let me yes, Sarah, we're completely serious. We're not joking. We
we're
are
not
not
joking. We're
joking at
not.
all.
I'm not joking around, Sarah. I'm not
No,
joking around. I'm not jerking your chain, Sarah. I'm
nope.
serious. You've been a loyal fan of this show. You've been a loyal, fan, especially to me after what transpired this past holiday season, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah, this past holiday season, you were the one that you had Earl's back. You had everyone who was affected by this back. You said,
Yes.
take a break if you need a break. I'll be here if you need it. Just shoot me a message. Cause you even followed us on Twitter after that. You said, shoot me a
You
message if you need it.
Yeah, and you even send me a personal message on my Facebook page, Sarah. And I was blown away by that, Sarah. I've never had anybody done that to me before. And that really tugged at my heartstrings, Sarah. And you absolutely are fabulous at your comments, your thoughts,
Yeah,
and
you're a
everything.
stand up. Yeah, you're a stand up person, Sarah. You are a stand
Yeah,
up person.
you are a stand-up person. So again, like I said before, sir, tweet me on Twitter. Tweet me on Twitter. I will set the date. I will bring Tyler on, and the three of us, we will do the wrestling experience.
Yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the three of us will do the rest. You will make your debut. We will make you laugh. We'll make you comfortable, and everything else in between. And we're gonna have a good time talking wrestling because that is exactly what my show is designed for, ladies and gentlemen. And you will have fun if you will. Yes, you
Oh
will.
yeah. Yeah, you know you're gonna have fun. You know you're gonna have fun with this, Sarah, because we always have fun doing these shows. It's basically one big party, you know,
Right.
when we do these shows. It's just two people hanging out, or three people in this case hanging out and talking wrestling. That's all
Yeah,
this
it's
is.
it's
And
it's
and and
almost like Sarah. It's almost like Sarah. I'll tell you what it's like, Sarah. Like I told Tyler this many times over. It's almost like going to a neighbor's house, ladies and gentlemen. And you knock on the door. I bring the chips. Tyler has soda. We all sit down together. We sit down and we watch the show. And I'll turn to Tyler and I'll say, Tyler, what is this you're watching on the screen? Let me just watch this with you and let me see what's going on in here. And then we start a conversation. That's what it's like.
yeah, it's like you just you. you knock on my door or you knock on Earl's door,
Right.
and you're like, hey man, you want to watch wrestling? All right, come in. And you pop a squat on the chair. You want a drink? You want snacks? You want something? I'll get it for you, and then we'll sit and watch wrestling. And then
Yeah.
what? Oh, you seen when this happened? You seen when that happened?
Yeah.
Like that.
That's what it's like, Sarah.
Yeah, and that's why I love doing it so much. Because again, back to the sob story. That's what me and my grandfather did.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this with friends now. I'm doing this with friends, and
I'll tell you something. I'm sorry to cut you off, Tyler.
I was finished. I was finished.
I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman here, I have grown to love this gentleman. Because I'll tell you this much, Tyler is very intelligent when it comes to the wrestling business. He's very analytical. And that is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason why he's such a critical element. He is a very critical, and I'm going to explain this to you. I'm going to say this again. Before we get to Rampage, Tyler is a very critical element to the cog in the Raw watch along wheel. Because when I sometimes I forget something, or sometimes you get something that's lost in translation, Tyler just brings it home to me. And he says, "No."
And also, when we do these shows,
Yes.
if a person had feuded with another person before, I mention it.
Yes.
Oh, this person has a history with this guy, or this girl has a history with this girl.
And Tyler does that brilliantly. And I feed off of that. And every time
that's why I love doing this stuff, because we feed off each other very well.
Yes, and I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, when I end these shows and I say goodnight to everyone, and I'm done for the day with these shows, ladies and gentlemen. I smile from ear to ear, ladies and gentlemen, because I know that I just witnessed something great. And I just listened to something fantastic. And I listened to something that was classic. Yeah, and along the way we had validity in the mix. We laugh, we cry, we discuss, and we rewind. And that is exactly what we do here.
Hell, there was a few times when we were going through the stuff, we sat on stream and cried together.
Yes.
We all sat on stream and cried together. And
yes.
And that's why I love doing what we do here on YouTube, is because we're not just colleagues. We're not just colleagues. We're all friends. We all talk outside of the streams and stuff. We all talk outside. Yeah. And Sarah, you're not just a fan anymore. That's what we're getting at. You're not just a fan anymore. Yeah. You're one of us now. Because you always come in when we went through that issue, when we went through that devastating thing that happened this November. We went through that devastating thing earlier this year. You were there, for us, and you were the shoulder we needed to lean on, and we appreciate that.
Sarah, and you were there, Sarah. That night, Sarah, I'll tell you this much, Sarah. That night, you and Tyler were the biggest crutch I could ever use that night, because that was the hardest. That had to be the hardest stream that I have ever done. And all the shows that I've done in this stream, ladies and gentlemen, on this YouTube, that was the hardest.
And to be honest, Earl, I needed a crutch too that night.
Yeah.
I needed a crutch too, because I was just as devastated. I was just as hurt.
Oh yes. It infected everyone. It infected everyone.
It affected everybody. But Sarah was there to be that crutch. She was there to be that friend to say, you know what, I'm here for you guys. If you need it, shoot me a message, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook. just shoot me a message. I'll be there for you. And she was there. She was there. So, Sarah, you're not at this point. You graduated from just being a fan to being a friend. So
Yes,
that's why we're inviting you to our shows because
yes,
you're one of us now. You're one of
yes,
us.
Sarah. Yes, Sarah. You've been a loyal soldier, and I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said before, I'll say it again. That was the hardest thing I've ever done. That was the hardest announcement I have ever made on a stream. I did not want to make that announcement. I did not want to believe it. I did not want
Oh,
to.
when you tried to make that announcement, you got so hysterical you couldn't even finish.
No,
I
I'm
had
sorry.
to I had to step in and finish
I'm
explaining
sorry.
what happened for you because you were, sobbing and crying because you were that upset. You couldn't even finish what you were trying to say. So I had to
Yeah,
step in, help you out. I was struggling to finish up because my voice got shaky
yeah.
trying to finish.
I just it wasn't good. It wasn't good, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't good. But I know our friend is smiling down at us and he's proud of us, and
Yes.
he is proud of everything that we're doing for you fans, and he is proud of every each and every stream that we do together. And I am happy to be associated with Tyler and Robert. I'm happy to be associated with Mitch, and I'm very grateful for everything that you all have brought to the table. And I'm grateful for our fans. I'm grateful for everybody because every time I look at the numbers and I look at everything, I'm very pleased at what we have done and what we've accomplished.
Yeah, I looked at the numbers too for my side, and I am in shock
Yeah.
every single time. I'm in shock because
Ah,
I didn't think early on when I started doing YouTube that I would be good at doing this.
nice.
That I would, you know, me and Rob, I didn't think because early on when we both did YouTube, we both admitted it. We were cringe. We were not entertaining. And we were struggling. Well, I was struggling with my other channel. It was used. It's for me. Podcast used to be a standalone channel. The best that I have done was 44 subs, and then I peaked and I hit a valley. There was no growing after that. So that's
Well,
why I
yeah.
moved it over to the Sports and Wrestling Connection.
Right.
But the fact that we were able to hit 1,000 subs, more than 1,000 subs in a matter of 2 years, I look at those numbers and I think, wow, we're doing it. We're doing the thing. Me and Rob and you're doing the thing too. You got over what 300,
Yeah.
400.
I'm amazed, ladies and gentlemen, at 325 subscribers. Um, over 1,000 watch hours, ladies and gentlemen, on my videos that I have done, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm celebrating 11 years on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. That's a huge accomplishment,
It
ladies and
is.
gentlemen,
It really is, man.
from where I was before, ladies and gentlemen. And
Because
I have to thank the people that were connected to me.
yeah, I have to thank everybody, who supported us. Like even on my side personally, I have family and friends who were supporting me through this whole like YouTube journey. I'm
Mm.
getting advice from my mom and my dad. Oh, you should do this, you should do that, and oh, write stuff down. Do this, do that. They're giving me advice how to grow as a entertainer and a YouTuber, and that's helped me a ton. So I thank my parents for that. Um, my friends who supported me, thank you guys for that. The fans, especially, thank you because I when I first did YouTube, I on my personal account, all I'm doing is picking a movie off my shelf and reviewing it, and I look back at that video, I go, that's a bad idea because I was so bad at it. picture quality was bad. Everything about it was bad. And then I started doing this YouTube, and then I was on Anchor doing It's From We podcast, and I only had like 5 listeners per episode. Me and Rob, 5 listeners per episode, and we moved to YouTube. We got slightly better, then we merged, and now we are at 1,000 and I think 202 subs, over 1,200 subs. And it's all thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
It's all thanks to you guys, because I know early on, like, nobody's going to be good at YouTube. Early on. Like, it goes with anything. When you're doing something that you're not used to doing, you're not going to be good at that.
No.
You're not going to be good. You're not going to be good off the jump like that. You're not going to grow exponentially off the jump like that. But with practice, with a lot of hard determination, you will be big. You will be big. And the fact that my buddy here has over 320 subs, the fact that the fact that me and Rob have over 1,000, over 1,200 subs, is amazing, and we thank you guys. But back to the thing with Sarah. Yeah, that offer is on the table. We are dead serious about it. We are dead serious. Because we like you so much that we consider you a friend now, and we'd love for you to be on our shows, and yeah.
Yeah. Sarah, when as soon as between tomorrow and Monday, before we do the Raw Watch on stuff, I'll be behind the scenes, and I'll talk to you, and we will work out a date, and I will let Tyler know the date, and then you, me, and Tyler, we will come together for the wrestling experience again, because Tyler's been on the wrestling experience, ladies and gentlemen, many times over, and he's always been entertaining, and it's just. He and DJ Storms are one of the popular guests that everyone talks about on Twitter, and I greatly appreciate that. So again, like I said before, Sarah, between tomorrow and between Monday, I'm going to talk to you behind the scenes, and I'm going to talk to you, and we're going to get this done. We're going to get this done. I'm going to pick out a date. I'll let Tyler know. I said, hey, Tyler, we got a date going. Can you make it? Can we make this happen? And we'll all come together, and we're all going to mutually agree.
So, nine times out of 10, though, like, I'll ask Rob, like, look, I can't be on. Let's not do an episode of It's Real Me this week because I'm going to be on Earl's show. Like, that's what I did for this week. Was right. I just told him no episode today because I'm going to be on his show this afternoon. Right. So I'm not gonna, because if I would have done It's Real Me at 7:00, I would have been burnt out. You know, because I did 2 shows back to back like that. But yeah, we're dead serious, Sarah. Like, let us know. You can DM both of us if you want to. Right. It doesn't have to be just for shows. I mean, if you just want to talk, say hi.
Yeah, right, whatever. Here. We're right here for you, Sarah. Right here for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Rampage.
Yeah.
Rampage.
Sorry we got derailed for like a good few minutes, but
yeah, but it was healthy. It was healthy conversation.
Yeah, healthy one. Yep.
Yeah. Royal Rampage kicked off the show last night, and the winner got to be at All Out. And
here's where I do kind of agree with Damien with the whole copying thing. Doesn't Royal Rampage sound a lot like Royal Rumble?
Yeah, well,
I didn't like that at all. Like, just call it Rampage and just call it a Battle Royal. Don't call it Royal Rampage.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that it's like, oh, you're gonna copy off a Royal Rumble. I do agree there, and that's what irked me about uh Friday Night Show. It was like you called
uh,
it Royal Rampage. It's basically Royal Rumble.
right.
But let's go through the match card.
Yeah. So
See,
anyway, the Royal Rampage had two rings. Oh, of course, you know, because of the blood and guts. So we had the blue ring and we had the red ring. Okay. So Honora Suzuki was in the match. We had Darby Allin in the match. We had the Butcher and the Blade in the match. We had Nick Gage. I believe his name is Nick Gage. I think he was in the match. Royal
yes, Nick
Embassy.
Gage.
Yeah, Nick Gage was in the match. We had the Royal Embassy in the match. Um, who else was in the match? Oh, Big Bill was in the match. We had, Sanjay Dutt brought his crew down, and they were in the match. So we had a lot of people in this match, ladies and gentlemen. The match was fine for what it was. It was the number one contendership for MJF's title at All Out, and I had no issues with what happened in the match at all. Great chemistry, great nuance
Wait,
in the match.
I thought it was for the TNT title.
No. This winner. Wait, hold on 1 second. Yes, 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 yes. Tyler is correct. Tyler is correct, ladies and gentlemen. For the TNT Championship at All Out. Yes, the winner will get a shot at the TNT title. So, ladies and gentlemen, your winner was Darby Allin.
I don't mind it. I do
Darby
not mind it.
Allin, no, I don't mind it at all. Darby Allin, ladies and gentlemen, is the number one contender for the TNT title. I had no issues with it. None.
Darby, but eventually you're going to have to bring Darby back up to the main event level, because for me, I feel like he's stuck right in that mid card spot,
Yeah.
stuck there, and yes, I don't think I don't think he's like main event material either, but
Right.
a lot of people think he is, so I would think move him up again soon, eventually. But I do see him in a TNT title feud. I do see that happening.
Yeah,
Um,
so he's going to take on Luchasaurus at All Out. Or in this case, it might as well be Christian Cage because Christian Cage is walking around with the belt like he won the damn thing and he didn't.
and
Uh,
he's cutting promos like he won the damn thing.
Not exactly. That's what
I'm
I
the
mean.
TNT champion. Like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Luchasaurus
You
is.
didn't. You didn't win the match. You helped
You didn't pin
Luchasaurus.
anybody.
Right. You helped Luchasaurus win the title, but technically, by law and by the booking, you are not the champion. The champion is Luchasaurus. But anyway, ladies and
I feel
gentlemen.
like that's gonna eventually piss off Luchasaurus in the storyline, and
Right.
Luchasaurus is gonna turn face again and feud
Right.
with Christian. So
Now,
I can see where they're booking it. I see where they're booking it for sure. Where the destination is going to be. I see the destination of
um,
this build.
yeah, I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you this much. Um, the match was fine. The match was okay. Let me ask you a question, Tyler. Does Prince Nana remind you of the Grand Wizard?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
He's his own guy. He's his own guy.
Okay. Never mind, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna move on from that. Um.
Then again, maybe.
Okay. If
Maybe.
you all don't
I was
know,
I'm thinking about it. Isn't it the same guy who was with one man gang or some shit? Turn him
no,
into
yeah, I'll tell you who the Grand Wizard was, ladies and gentlemen. The Grand Wizard was a manager, and he used to wear this turban on his head, and he used to wear these funky
wait, it went
glasses.
out. I don't
Huh?
He's a manager and yeah. I don't
Okay, okay. He was a
you better
manager. What did you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. He was a manager, ladies and gentlemen. He was a manager, and he wore these funky glasses, and he wore this turban. And I'll tell you this much: his hands was always dirty. The Grand Wizard used to just go in there, and he used to help his clients win the match.
Hold on, I gotta look this up. Hold on, I'll be back.
Yeah, let's check out the Grand Wizard, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, yes, the Grand Wizard was a manager with them funky glasses. He was a funky dude, and I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, he was dirty. The Grand Wizard was dirty. I loved him as a manager. I really did. But anyway, getting back to this match, ladies and gentlemen, it was
Uh, I don't.
yes.
I looked him up because I wasn't alive during the era, obviously. But he kind of does have the same style, doesn't he?
Well, yes, that's what I mean. Does he remind you of the Grand Wizard?
In a way, yes. In a way, because of the style. He's wearing a suit and he has a turban.
Right, and he wore
He
those
kind of
funky
does.
glasses.
Honestly, yes. Honestly, yes. Honestly, yes. The thing, yeah,
Yeah,
he does. He does.
yeah. Um. So anyway, ladies, and gentlemen, getting back to the match. The match was fine. The match was okay. Now let me ask you something, Tyler. On an entertainment level, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you give this match?
Uh, we're talking about the Royal Rampage match, right?
Right, right.
I'm gonna have to give this probably a 10. Probably a 10 because it
Oh,
was a
okay.
standard. It was a standard Rumble match. It was a standard Battle Royal. Um, and the right person won. The right person won. It was thoroughly entertaining to me. A lot of mixture of different characters. Heel, face. It was great. It was great. A lot of mixtures of styles in the
Mm-hmm.
match too, and
Mm-hmm.
it was thoroughly entertaining. I liked it, and Darby winning it, I don't mind it. So
No,
I'm happy.
I had no issues with it. I had zero issues with it.
Yeah.
Zero. I had zero issues with it. He's the number one contender. He will meet the TNT champion at All Out. Fine by me. Fine by me.
That's fine by me too, man. I love me some Darby Allin. I love me some Luchasaurus. Those two in the ring will be money at All Out. It will be money.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, on an entertainment level, I'm gonna also agree with Tyler and give this a 10.
Oh yeah, That spot when Swerve threw Darby onto
Oh
the
yes.
skateboard.
Oh
Yo,
yes.
my back, dude, my back hurt watching it.
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, that was a gnarly spot.
My back
Oh,
hurt watching that. Same thing on Wednesday when Kenny Omega put through
oh, that was
the
gnarly.
it's, got put through the nail bed. My back hurt watching that. Like
Yeah.
sometimes this week, the theme of AEW shows is that let's make our fans cringe.
Right.
That's what it seemed like. Let's just make our fans cringe tonight. This week.
So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Chris Statlander took on Marina Shafir.
Is it just me or is Marina Shafir getting better in the ring?
Um, yeah, I think she's improved since the beginning. She was green in the beginning.
Oh, green is you know what? Yeah,
No, right. That. But the match was all right. The match was okay. The match was what it was.
yeah. It was an okay match. Given that Chris Statlander was going against Marina Shafir, who normally, if you see that name, you kind of go, oh, like that's just going to be a bad match.
Right.
It really wasn't. It wasn't that bad.
No,
Marina,
it
I
wasn't.
feel like she's improving.
Right.
She is improving in the ring, and her promo skills. She needs to work on that a little bit. She needs to work on
Right.
that.
Right. There's a
But
little bit of work on that.
the wrestling, she's getting it down. She's getting it. She's getting it, and I'm proud of her for actually. And you could see it in her on her Instagram and her on her Instagram. I was gonna say
Right.
TikTok. I don't know if she has TikTok, but on her Instagram, you see her putting in the work and training. She's
Right.
putting in that work, and I'm proud. You know, I'm proud of her for stepping up, improving in the ring, and getting better. And honestly, you put on kind of a banger against
Right.
Chris, kind of a banger. So honestly, Marina, keep improving, keep working hard. You will get it. You will get it.
I
Mark
agree.
my words.
I agree.
But the match was really, really good. It was really good.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was great. Now, Tyler, on an entertainment level, what do you give the match?
I'll give it an 8. I'm giving it an 8. You know, going in, I wasn't really excited about it like I was for the Royal Rampage match. I really was, shocked. I was shocked.
Right.
But there was some improvement. There was some room for improvement from Marina, but she's getting it down. She is getting it down.
Yes. Yes,
You
she
know, she
is.
is improving. She's improving in the ring. They're giving her a lot of ring time to improve. She's putting in the work outside of the ring, outside of TV, in the ring, improving on bumping and the moves and stuff like that. Like, so I'm giving it an 8 because going in, I wasn't really excited for it.
You
But
wasn't that invested.
I wasn't invested. But
Okay.
as soon as the match was going on, I became more and more invested because I saw
Okay.
potential in Marina Shafir. And Chris
Right.
Statlander, she's Chris Statlander. She's good. You know, so I love Chris Statlander. So that right. So but just by that, I'm giving it an 8.
I am going to be on the same wavelength as you, and I'm going to give that an 8 as well.
Please block Phil, this Phil guy, please.
What do we got going on here in the comment section?
AEW's sucks. Cult of Cornet.
Okay,
says.
well, we're gonna just
Don't even time him out. Just ban him outright.
Right. Okay. Bye bye. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have the correct change, you will be dismissed. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give. I'm on the same wavelength as Tyler. I'm going to give the same entertainment number for this match, and I thought it was really good. It was great for what it was. It was great. Mina Shafir is improving in the ring, and I like Chris Statlander. Statlander wins the match with the Big Bang Theory, and that was the end of it. That was the end of Mrs. Shafir for the night.
Now here's the thing with that finish name. Change the name. You're not an alien gimmick anymore.
Right.
You're just Chris Statlander yourself. You're just you're just you. So change that into something less alien like or space like in the name. Unless you like the show Big Bang Theory, then you can keep it.
Right.
Unless you like the sitcom, then keep it.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The final match of Rampage was Johnny TV, QT Marshall, and Aaron Solo taking on the Claim and Daddy Ass.
All right, this is not part of the match. It's part of the entrance. But Max Caster, bro, you completely obliterated this woman.
Right.
You said shit about her freaking lady part. I'm not going to mention it. What the part was.
Right.
You completely obliterated her on the mic. Completely obliterated her with that rap. and it was funny. It was hilarious.
I,
And even when I just mentioned entrance, this guy laughed. but yeah, you completely obliterated her, so I'm proud that you roasted her.
Oh my god.
And her and a certain body part.
I'm not even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. I'm not even gonna do that.
That's basically what he said. I'm not gonna touch you with a 10-foot pole or whatever he said. But you didn't have to go in on her like that, Max. You're funny though, but damn.
Yeah, that was pretty heavy. That was pretty heavy to deal with.
He didn't rap about anybody else but her. It was just shot after shot after shot on her.
And you're right, exactly. I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Every time he comes on the mic, you just never know what he's gonna come out with. You never know what he's gonna spit out. And that was pecan spicy, ladies and gentlemen.
That was muy caliente, if you ask me.
Oh, I haven't heard that in a long time. Keep bringing that out, Tyler. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Anyway, the match was fine. The match was okay. The match was great. This is a warm up. This is a warm up to them meeting the House of Black tonight in Newark for the trios titles on Collision. And I had nothing else to say about the match. The match was fine. The match was fine for what it was.
Yeah, the match was good. The match was good. But yeah, I kind of felt like it was your standard Rampage match that no one would really care about. To be honest, it was your standard Rampage match. This is where Rampage started to die off a little bit. Was with this match, and the thing is, what was this? The main event? If I remember correctly,
yes.
So it really just dropped off with one match left. So it wasn't really it really wasn't a bad Rampage in hindsight.
No.
But yeah, I had to mention the little rap in the entrance because he went in on her. I was like, God damn, Max Caster.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you this much. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we want to congratulate Aussie Open. Yes. Aussie Open won the Ring of Honor tag team belts last night on Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. If you saw it,
actually, it wasn't Supercard of Honor. It's Death Before Dishonor.
No, Death Before Dishonor. Excuse me. Yes. Thank you, Tyler, for the correction.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So if you didn't see the pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen, it was on last night. It came to you from Trenton, New Jersey, and it was. I didn't watch it. I didn't order it. I didn't watch it. I was doing SmackDown last night, so my attention went to SmackDown. But if you saw it, then I hope you enjoyed the show. And yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, we just going to talk about this match at Collision tonight. I think this is going to be the main event of Collision tonight. The House of Black will take on the Acclaim for the Trios Championships. I got no issues with this match whatsoever. House of Black and the Acclaim. It's going to be some good stuff.
Yeah, man. It's going to be some.
But
like I looked at the card earlier when they put the card on social media. I'm like, this is gonna be a great show tonight. It's gonna be a great show, and it's gonna be a tremendous show tonight. You know, you have House of Black versus the Acclaim money match, and then you have other matches too on this card. That oh man, I'm ready for 8 o'clock to get here because this is a great card tonight. Great card. And this is why I prefer Collision over Rampage, because they they treat it like the B show. They treat it like that.
Right.
And with Rampage, they don't really treat it like that. They treat it as like a secondary Dynamite, which kind of
Right.
hurts them a bit.
Right. I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ready for Collision tonight. I can't wait to get to Newark, New Jersey tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be fun. If you are in Newark, ladies and gentlemen, please, by all means, come through the building. Newark always has a spot in my heart, ladies and gentlemen, for AEW. Um, I went to the first pay-per-view offering in that building, Full Gear. As everybody knows, I attended Full Gear and had a good time there. Every time I go to Newark and I do an AEW show, whether it's Dynamite or a pay-per-view or something special, this is the first time Collision will debut in Newark, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a fun night tonight of matches. What's really going to be fun is next week's Collision, which I can't wait to do, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to be coming to you from Hartford, Connecticut, and I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen: the explosion of MJF and it's just going to be great. This is going to be great. They're going to take on FTR next Saturday night. We all know FTR is going to retain, and that is going to lead, ladies and gentlemen, to the explosion of MJF and Adam Cole. So it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be great. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it.
Yeah, that's our show for today. And also, Sarah, let me read your comment again. I love the Acclaim, but I don't think House of Black will lose. They're just so dominant and dangerous. I agree. I agree. I feel like this is gonna, be an extension because they were starting a feud. They did start a feud with the Acclaim. I feel like they're gonna push this to All In. They're gonna push this to All In.
Right.
And I think at All In, that's gonna be where the Acclaim win. Because you can't, because they're the hot hand, and when you're having a show at a 90,000 seated arena in front of 90,000 fans, and those 90,000 fans like you, the right move to have a great moment and capitalize on a great moment is have the Acclaim win at All In.
Yep. Win them trio title.
Yep, you gotta have them win the trios titles at All In. But yeah, right now they're not losing on a random. They're not going to lose on a random collision.
No.
Yeah, they're not losing on a random collision.
No.
I have to agree there.
No. They will retain. They will retain the title, and they're gonna retain, and it's gonna be it's like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be a fun night, and it's gonna be a banger of a night in Newark, ladies and gentlemen. And I cannot wait to get to Newark tonight. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know that place is gonna be jumping. The fans are gonna be loud. Gonna be rowdy. I mean, it's AEW, and there's not one episode of Dynamite or Collision, hell, even Rampage, where the crowd is not jumping, and they're not rowdy, and they're not yelling and screaming and chanting stuff and being lively, and that's what I like so much about these companies going to certain cities. That's why I like when WWE went to Puerto Rico, or when I like WWE going to the UK. Those crowds are jumping, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I hope to see that tonight. And I know I'm going to see it tonight because it's in New York. It's in Newark, New Jersey. Yep. New Jersey fans, they are rowdy.
Yes, they are.
And when they went to Newark before, rowdy. Full Gear, that event you went to, I watched on pay-per-view. They were rowdy, completely rowdy.
Yeah, they were.
And I love it. I love it as a wrestling fan. I love it because you want to see other wrestling fans be excited over that, and I love to see that. I love it.
Yeah, I relish in it, ladies and gentlemen. I relish in it. and we're gonna have fun tonight in Newark. And like I said before, if you are in the neighborhood, come through, get a ticket. They're still available at Ticketmaster. They're still available at the box office. Get them, get
And
them
Sarah
because
to and Sarah to piggyback off that comment that you would love that for the acclaim. I would love that too. You want to know why? You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because everybody loves the acclaimed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna put a bow on Elite Talk number 8, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna put a bow on it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back at our regular time at 4 o'clock next Saturday for Elite Talk, ladies and gentlemen. So don't forget that we will return with episode number 9. I can't believe it's almost 10. I can't believe we're getting close to 10.
Man, we've been having fun with this. We've been having a lot of fun with it. You know,
Yeah,
I remember the day you pitched it to me.
yeah,
And this was originally going to be a SmackDown show.
right.
But we decided that Smack Talk, that was going to be the original name. I'm like, yeah, that's copyright. Let's not do that. And
Right.
then there was a certain time where we were put off by the company. So we were like, let's just make it Elite Talk, where we talk about all elite wrestling.
Right.
And it's just been so fun to do this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fun. I always look forward to Saturday. I always look forward to, Mondays and then Wednesdays and then, Thursdays and Saturdays. Not only because Raw's on, which that kind of takes away some of the excitement for Monday. Let's be
Right.
honest, Raw. But Wednesday when we do Dynamite, that's fun. Thursday when me and Rob do It's Real to Me, or if I'm on your show, the Wrestling Experience, that's always fun. And
Right.
but really Saturday, man, like I've really looked forward to Saturday because not only do we do Collision, we're doing Elite Talk, and,
Right.
and it's been fun, to do this show and for it to be as successful as it's been. It's amazing.
Exactly. It's amazing. And since its inception, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to piggyback off of what Tyler said. I have fun doing this show. Ladies and gentlemen. I have fun.
And Sarah, you got that right. Everyone loves the acclaimed.
That's right. I have fun doing this show, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to work with Tyler. Yeah, on all of these projects here. It is an honor for me to do it. This show is a lot of fun. We laugh. We talk about wrestling. We talk about different things, different topics, and then we do get to the heart of the matter of the show, and we give it to you like nobody's business. So, yeah, this is fun, ladies and gentlemen. So, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, Elite Talk will return next Saturday at its regular
What's up,
time.
Steve?
Yeah, what's up, Steve? How are you? Hit that like button and subscribe to all our channels. We greatly appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Elite Talk returns next Saturday to its normal time at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then Tyler and I will come together again for Collision that night. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come together again because Tyler and I are not done with each other. No, we're not done with each other. Not this week, ladies and gentlemen. Not by a long shot. On Monday night, ladies and gentlemen, Tyler and I will come back together and we will give you the Raw watch along, ladies and gentlemen. And that now will kick off the week for us on the Raw side.
And then we're not done yet.
No.
Because Wednesday night we have Dynamite.
Yes, we do. We have Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen, this Wednesday.
And then we'll take a little break. Then we'll take a little break on Thursday. And then we're back together again on Friday.
All right. We're back together again on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. and then, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done with each other yet.
Because Saturday.
And then we got Saturday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're not done with each other. And then we're not done with each other because we got Saturday night to do, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, we become inseparable.
ladies and gentlemen, we are conjoined twins. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Anyway,
Yeah, we're
ladies
stuck at the hip. We're stuck at the hip at this point.
yeah, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for all of us here at Elite Talk. We hope that you were entertained. I'm Earl Cole. That is Tyler.
Hold on. I don't think they should only be only entertained. I hope you were sports entertained.
Oh yes, I hope that you were sports entertained. That's right.
I had to do a Daniel Garcia on you guys.
Remember tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
And no, I'm not doing that stupid salsa dance. I can't do that.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Robert, Tyler, and Raphael will bring you Collision at 8:00, and I will be live inside the Prudential Center for the Collision show. So I will return to the streams for Collision next Saturday night. But until Monday night, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Earl Cole. I hope everyone will have a safe and enjoyable Saturday evening and a safe and enjoyable Sunday. And I'll be back in cyberspace with this gentleman, Mr. Tyler, on Monday night. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, for Elite Talk, have a great night, everyone.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, the Wrestling Experience, with your host, Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit, freshest WWE content, and also the AEW. You are now watching The Experience, the Wrestling Experience. Now with your host, Earl Cole.